Welcome back to Quiet Kings, the epicenter of all things Elden Ring. Today we're talking about the highly anticipated Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree, set to release on June 21st of this year. We'll explore the intriguing theories surrounding Mezmer the Impaler. Is he a twisted version of Miquella or something more sinister? We'll journey through the somewhat speculative role of the mysterious Land of Shadow, examine lore, and discuss some key findings of the DLC as well. Plus, we'll discuss the gameplay mechanics and some theory crafting of our own. Let's get into this deep dive into lore, theories, and excitement surrounding Elden Ring's biggest expansion yet. Did you think that Elden Ring was too difficult? Too easy? Well, players at max level in Elden Ring shouldn't expect an easy ride in the new DLC. Hidetaka Miyazaki, the game's director, revealed some intriguing details in a Famitsu interview translated by a Reddit user. Shadow of the Erdtree will introduce a new leveling system inspired by Sekiro that operates alongside the existing rune-based system. This new attack power stat is unique to the DLC areas, and boosting it will be crucial for taking on DLC's formidable bosses. Miyazaki's goal with this system is to maintain a sense of freedom and progression, similar to the base game. It's designed to provide a balanced experience even for high-level players. The introduction of the attack power stat means that even maxed out characters won't be able to breeze through the new content. Challenge accepted. Instead, players will need to engage with this new mechanic to strengthen their characters against bosses, some of which are said to rival Millennia in difficulty. This new system isn't mandatory. Miyazaki notes that players can choose to face the DLC's challenges at a lower level if they prefer a more challenging approach. Flexibility allows for a variety of playstyles, from the conventional to the unconventional, like attempting to conquer challenges with no armor or unconventional weapons, as we've seen. I gotta give the game studio some credit for this approach, since it addresses the various ways that gamers play, which really demonstrates how much they pay attention to their audience. Our question for you is, will you be approaching the DLC with a fresh start, or will you be going in with a decked out existing character? Usually our tutorials and videos feature our characters that already have all of the items in the game and are level 300 plus, and we've been on the max New Game Plus for some time. However, we aren't sure if this approach will take away from our first steps in this new land, but we are weighing the potential downside with the fact that these characters will likely have the stats to equip most of the new items in the game, which is one of our most anticipated aspects of the new content. This new area is overshadowed by a different Erdtree and can be accessed by touching this hand in Mohg's palace. The DLC will follow the story of three key figures, one being Miquella as we explore his journey in this mysterious land of shadow, and the second being the connection to Queen Marika and her action. The last key character in the DLC is Mezmer, a figure crucial to the narrative, standing on equal footing with demigods. In terms of world design, Miyazaki promises a similar experience to the base game, with large legacy dungeons and smaller ones spread across a map, which is around the size of Limgrave. The Land of Shadow's structure aims to maintain the sense of scale and adventure that players loved in the original game. Miyazaki also teased about some new bosses and enemies, highlighting the thematic importance of the shadow in their design. Given the relatively low impact of holy damage in the base game, mainly due to various key bosses resisting it, we anticipate it will become more effective in the DLC, providing better balance across the affinity types. On the other hand, there is a question about whether bleed damage will maintain its incredible effectiveness against these shadowy creatures. Miyazaki also assures that the DLC will be self-contained, accessible to those who have defeated the bosses Radahn and Mohg. The events in the DLC will not impact the main story, so players can expect a distinct adventure in the Shadow Realm. We were very curious to know if they were going to add an additional alternative ending to the base game like all the other alternative endings. Miyazaki also addresses the involvement of George R.R. Martin. He clarifies that while Martin did not write new content specifically for the DLC, the original mythos he created still heavily influences the story in the Shadow of the Erdtree. Finally, Miyazaki didn't confirm Shadow of the Erdtree as the definitive end of the Elden Ring saga. While there are no current plans for further DLCs or a sequel, he didn't rule out the future possibilities. In light of the current challenges in the gaming industry, Miyazaki shared that From Software is fortunate to have upcoming directors capable of leading new projects, indicating a positive outlook on the studio's future. We can't wait to see what comes next. We're going to start off our theory crafting with Torrent. Before this trailer was launched, we got a teaser photo that was released a while back. Based on a source we found on Reddit, they noted that Torrent had noticeably longer hair in this photo. So why does Torrent have longer hair in this photo? Through their analysis, they pointed out that the Torrent we see in game has been burnt, the scars of the incident clearly visible. They substantiate their speculation by pointing out that these textures on his model are literally called burns in the game file. Given his relation to Miquella and this new burning character, Mezmer the Impaler, we speculate that there might be a connection there, and perhaps perhaps a reason why Torrent is no longer with his former master. This Reddit user dives into some other speculation associating Torrent with the Blue Dancer and connecting Torrent also to the Ancestor spirits, since their jump animation is identical in aesthetic. We put the link in the bio below if you want to check out the full article. The visual similarity between Mesmer and the creature in the egg hints at a transformative or deceptive origin, considering that the speculation before was that this person in the egg was Miquella. The idea that Mesmer could be a distorted version of Miquella, perhaps due to Mohg's manipulations, align with the themes of transformation and corruption that is prevalent all over Elden Ring. This could explain Mesmer's sudden emergence and pivotal role in the upcoming DLC. This new area might be a forgotten realm where the Erdtree's influence is minimal or twisted. It could be a mirror to the Lands Between, showing what happens when divine order is subverted. This setting will likely reveal new lore of Elden Ring's true nature and history. What are your thoughts on this new Erdtree? Mesmer's portrayal, with serpentine imagery and attire, suggests a figure of temptation or rebellion from biblical references. In many mythologies, such figures challenge the existing order, which in Elden Ring's context could mean opposing the Erdtree or quite literally the Golden Order. Given George R.R. Martin's involvement in crafting Elden Ring's world, subtle references to Mesmer or the Land of Shadow might already exist in the game. These could be in item descriptions, environmental storytelling, or cryptic dialogue that we see in and out of the game. Have you discovered any in-game elements that might relate to this? And that wraps up what we have today. Thank you for joining us in the incredible world of Elden Ring and the exciting speculation around the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. As we await its release, remember to keep your theories coming in the comment section below. Stay tuned for more updates, discussions, and deep dives into the Lands Between. See you in the next one.